Everyone. I'm assuming some people are going to be watching this back. There's a possibility I might actually re-edit the stream. But what we're doing as a bit of a change is I wanted to talk about one of the potential forthcoming Project Games projects. I should have had a script. So I have said that I want to spend about a year since the launch of Eden before starting properly on Fortress Craft 2. In that time I want to finish off a bunch of projects, and I would like to, in that time, which is about the next 10 months or so, I would like to ship a VR game, I would like to ship a game that uses the motion platform, and I would like to ship a game that is on console. That's kind of my plans. And for those of you who have been following, you know that we do these nightly streams. We stream every single night. You're always welcome to come and watch. And part of that is so I force myself to sort of see what games are and how games are doing out there, because, you know, what was hot a year ago is not hot now. Force myself to play sort of games I wouldn't normally play, and sometimes enjoying them, sometimes not. SnowRunner is the perfect example. I didn't think I'd like SnowRunner, and I played it and went, this is one of the best games I've ever played. Absolutely loved it. We also played a bunch of GTA, and in GTA there is a mission, a game mode, and it's called Assassination, I think that's right. And in it, one of you is the target, and you have to hide by blending in with the AI. There's also a YouTuber called Fail Race that do the same thing, and they do this as a video. And the idea of it is you have to basically blend in with the AI and hide from the pursuers. So we've played a number of games, and I'm like, I really like that idea. So we played a game a few weeks ago called Witch It, and Witch It is very much like Prop Hunt, if you know the Prop Hunt TF2 game. And that reminded me how fun it is to follow or hide from someone, you know, like in, you know, Metal Gear Solid, that sort of thing, but human players. So you have to blend in. If you know Spy Party, you know, there's a number of these games. And I did kind of start on this earlier with some of the graphics done for VR Space Bear, which I also haven't really. So I'm just going to start the server up. Note, I haven't tested the network code in this in ages, so it might not work. We'll see. If not, I can still show it to you. Oh, it does seem to be loading. Okay, cool. I am... Okay, so... Wrong button. I forgot how to start this shit. So one of the things I want to do in the game, and you can't really see them, is toggles. And for some reason, the toggles aren't working. Well, that's brilliant. I can still fly. That's good enough. So, can I fly? Can I remember the controls? Oh, my joystick is working. What have I forgotten to do? I forgot to do something. Arrows on, main breaker is on, running lights are on, map lights are false. Oh, I think what it might be is I've forgotten the controls. That'll do it. So in the game, and do try to ignore the UI, the idea is that you, as the bad guy, would try and do a series of tasks while the good guys try and stop you. And a part of this stream is to try and have a chat with everybody else, and I know no one else has turned up. So sort of chat about sort of quite how that will actually work. So right now I am flying a spaceship. It does have full VR support as well. I'm really confused why my toggles have gone invisible, but I'm going to blame Andy on that one. But yeah, the idea is that the bad guy has to go around and do a series of tasks. Whatever those tasks are, that's not decided. Whilst the good guys have to stop him completing those tasks. We haven't decided how that is either yet. So at the moment, hopefully this should explode. And in theory, if you explode 3 things, then you win. That should be close enough to have started. There you go. Boom. So at this point, all the good guys in the... Oh, it's just locked up. That's cool. All the good guys in the world would see the explosion and go, oh, hold on, he's over there. Yeah, so Among Us, it's kind of like Among Us to a degree. I mean, it's very much like Among Us in a number of ways. I've no idea what happened there. So in Among Us, you had to do a series of tasks to kill the good guys without getting caught. I mean, this normally runs at about 400 frames a second, so I have no idea what is going on with the frame rate right now.
I couldn't connect, so I shut down my game. Might have affected you.
Should know. Just have a quick look. Oh, it's something to do with Unity. If you right now at this second in time, you should be able to run the game, and it should list how many servers are running. So this is one of the cool things. Internet, that should be under favorites. There we go. That's me on the... Oh, it's not there. Brilliant. As I said, I haven't tested the networking in a little while. That might be broken. If you run the game, does it say 0 servers found?
Found bad server and no servers found. Both. Which I don't know which one is the correct one.
So it says what, sorry?
Found bad server with Steam ID, blah 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 blah.
Found patch server.
And no servers found.
It says found what server? Patch, batch, trash? I don't know what word you're saying.
Bad, as in opposite of good.
Oh, don't know what that is. That's annoying. I don't know. I've no idea. Yeah, it's possible I broke the networking. I haven't really been looking at that. I've mostly been looking at the toggles, which incidentally are also broken. So not sure if that is somehow related. But it doesn't really stop me asking the questions that we really had, because obviously you can run it locally and sort of go ooh and ah. So one of the things that we don't have right now is we don't have a great number of tasks for the bad guy to complete, the hunted, and we also don't really know how the hunted wins. Is it that the hunted always loses and it's just a question of how long can they survive? Do they have a great number of tasks to complete, or do they just have one? Do they have 10 tasks and they have to do all 10, or do they have 10 tasks and they have to complete any 3? When the police have worked out, the hunters have worked out who they are, do they immediately win? Do they have to go through a chase? Oh, I think I know what the issue is with the camera. I think the camera isn't rendering UI. That'd be what it is. I can fix that. As always, the moment you start to look at it with the stream active, you tend to notice things. Culling mask. Boink UI. Now I can see the toggles. I'm assuming you can't see the toggles in your screen. There we go. Well,
I don't get booted into a game. I could start the local one, of course.
If you start a server, there is no local one. But if you start a server, I should see if I can see it, because I can probably look at the error message. So I mean, the basic answer, the questions are: does anyone think this is a good idea? Would you play this? It has one major issue, as far as I'm concerned, is that it is pretty much a multiplayer only game, and that to me is an issue, because as we have discovered to a great degree on this stream, you get a lot of echo. What? Echo? What? I'm not getting any echo. Shouldn't be. Shao, can you say something?
I am saying stuff.
Shouldn't be. This is the same setup I always use. This is not the rig with an echo. I think Malcolm is your fault. Don't know how. Yeah, so we can see here that the AI... Wow, is that a really bad AI player? Or is that Schalke? That can't be Schalke. What happened to that? Yeah, I don't know what that was about. AI failed horribly. So yeah, what happens is the AI join from one of these slip gates, and depending on what class they are, depends on what they do. So some ships fly around the sort of mining area, some ships fly into here for repairs and unloading, some ships fly over here to the taxi cab area, and your goal is to blend in with that and to complete your tasks. But there are a lot of questions around this. What are the tasks? How do you complete them? How do the hunters win? Right now there are 3 of these whatchamacallits here that you sit near and you blow up. One there, one there. I forgot what the other one is. So the players will have to fly around and check where the and you know, use radio contact and say, oh, I've checked here. Okay, this one's been blown up. And the hunted player will be able to do much like what's that game called? Prop hunt, and disguise themselves as a number of different vehicles. I don't know why. Yeah, I can't think of. Thing is, I can't listen to Schalke, because if I listen to Schalke, you guys will hear. Schalke, say something. Thing is, I can't listen to Schalke.
I'm not getting visuals on the visor. I don't know if it's the game or the visor doing something weird.
Schalke, say something. Thing is, I can't listen to Schalke.
I'm not getting visuals on the visor.
That does sound... It's not echo. That's completely the wrong word. It sounds more like a... It's more like a phase effect. So, but this is how I normally stream from here, by the way. No one's mentioned it before. Welcome to the world of audio and streaming. Did Schalke say something?
Hello. I'm trying to have a clear voice.
Aux is sent to A1 and A3. A1 is my headset. A3 is that. Maybe it's a Discord setting. Don't know why it would be. Discord is outputting to the voice meter aux input. I have no idea.
All this then.
But yeah, it's nothing. So it's nothing to do with the echo you get when I'm on the motion rig. We know about that. I have no idea what's going on here, and quite frankly, I can't be fucked to fix it. I'm sick to fucking death of trying to fix any of these audio issues, because everything I've tried, and this is the best program I have ever found for routing audio, and I've absolutely zero idea why that's happening. So nothing in this routing should get you guys Schalke twice, because that's not how it works. My microphone is output to A3, which is the capture card. It also goes to B1, which is I think B1 is what, I'm not sure. I think B1 would just be the game. Discord itself is using my microphone and outputting to the aux input, which is here. Aux input is output to my headset, which is A1, and to the stream, which is A3. There's no reason why you should be hearing it twice. There just isn't. Well, no, because... hold on. I wonder what those things do. I have got to the point where I have started to consider buying a... I wonder what those things do. I mean, it is quite echoey in here. I have got to the point where I have started I can hear something on my own voice. Like it's like you guys are hearing me twice, but almost no difference between the two things you hear. But that's not how it works. I mean, I'm not sure why I'm routing to B1. I can stop routing to B1, but that's not how it works. I mean, I'm not sure why I'm routing to B1. I can stop routing to B1, but
you tried asking in a forum.
But that's not how it works. I mean, I can. Yeah, it's no different. I'm not sure why I'm routing to B1. I can stop routing to B1. But
Tried asking in a
My game was down for some while. I don't know what.
But that's not how it works. I mean, I can. Yeah, it's no different. I'm not sure why I'm routing to B1. I can stop routing to B1. But
tried asking in a
it's like you're hearing everybody twice. I can't work out whether or not that should be down like that. Is that do nothing or is that do nothing? I assume blue is do nothing. It's thoroughly annoying because yeah, so it's like what is coming out of Discord you're hearing routed twice. It's like you're hearing what is coming sent to my headset, but that's not how this works. Because obviously you used to get in the old days the what you hear thing on this, and we don't. So voice meter aux input, that's where Discord. So if you say something, anyone.
Testing.
Spaceships.
212.
Yeah, so that's Discord sending to voice meter.
You haven't got monitoring
You say
ticked in any of your devices, have you?
Anyone. I hope not.
Testing.
Spaceships.
212.
Yeah, so that's Discord. But no, I
You
can
have to go
hear.
into the properties in your sound devices.
Yeah,
Tick box.
my own one also. My own voice appears to have it's a phase. Is the correct term? Quantize. The problem is, look how many sound cards I've got on my freaking computer. So I've got 2 for the capture card, 1 for that monitor, 1 for that monitor, then the bass shaker, and then virtual ones and.
You got the stream playing anywhere? Out of curiosity.
I have, but not. It wouldn't be that close. This is the difference of like 1,000th of a second or something.
I'm hearing a longer delay.
Oh, that was because I was listening to the stream back to try and hear what was going on.
I was wondering about that. Right.
Yeah. No, I don't have listen to this device anywhere.
You got all the devices disabled that you can possibly have disabled.
No. I don't know.
I would do that.
So hold on. What's this? Oh.
Just remove them from the equation if you don't think you need them.
Hold on. That is. Hang on. Doesn't that say mute? I can hear it. I'm pretty sure that there is my VR headset. I'm just going to disable that a second and then listen back to the stream. Doesn't that say mute?
Mm-hmm.
I can hear it. I'm pretty sure that there is my VR headset. I'm just going to disable that a second and then listen back to the stream. Doesn't that say mute? No. Mm-hmm. Made no difference. I made nothing at all. And then I've got speakers. Realtek digital output, which I assume I'm not using. Then I've got
Disable any of those that you're not using as well.
Then I've got that monitor. Then I've got that's my Samsung monitor. It's horrible. Like just and so that's what I actually listen to. That is my capture card. Don't know what that is.
When you do the test sound there, does that echo?
No, I can't hear the echo. The echo only
No, on
comes
the stream though.
Yeah,
so if you right click and do test, does it come out twice on the stream?
This device is being used by an application. Right, okay, so I'm not going to find out.
Yeah, so if you right click and do test, does it come out twice?
Yeah, so everything I've done hasn't made the blindest bit of difference.
I mean, something's got it in exclusive mode, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably voice meter banana. And obviously closing that would... it probably sounds alright because I'm not doing anything. So when I put my PC under load, probably that gap becomes bigger. I wish there was a simple solution about this, but there isn't.
But doing it all with hardware properly, like a mixing box.
Even that's quite hard because Discord is set up to record audio directly from my microphone and then to output to voice meter aux. Voice meter aux then goes to... Actually, can you just say something a sec?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Goes to... Actually, can you just say something a sec?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, so A1 only goes to my headset and A3 only goes to the stream. Goes to... Actually, can you just say something, Zach?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But... Hold on.
Are there any other hidden inputs on that?
Fixed. Yeah, so
Look,
A1
just listen
only
back
goes...
to my growling.
Are there any other hidden inputs on that?
Fixed.
Right. So back to
so
look,
A1
just listen
only
back
goes-
to my growling.
Back to... So, on the capture... On OBS, I had 2 capture devices, which was the same device twice, and for some reason they weren't running in sync.
Bit special.
Brilliant. So, back to this is why I think I might do an edit. So yeah, the idea is that you can fly around and pretend, and you can sneak. You can sneak around and complete tasks, and then you can win or lose based on TBD. The hunters have to stop the hunted by TBD. It's more the question is twofold. One, do I think this is a good game? And two, do I think this is a game that will make money? And I think one is a yes, and I'm not sure about two. I never am. I've just realised why it's likely. So one of the things that I was promised by Steam is that I never have to do any port forward or any of that crap, but that's a lie. So I've got all the things route through traffic all ticked, but it appears to be a complete lie. So I just need to make sure I am using a port that I am... who am I? I'm 22. I'll use the Doom port. That's probably what it is. So that's why I have a batch file to make sure I'm using the appropriate port. 2 seconds. Didn't think about that. So I use by default port 27016, which I am forwarding to the wrong computer. Ah, that'd do it.
27016, the wrong computer.
Yeah, so that's forwarding to the old Fortress Cross server. Whoops. Right. Right, so if I start the server up as a... I will be a taxi hunter. So in theory, at this point now, you should be able to see the game. And if you go to view in Steam, view servers and filter sneaky spaceships, in theory... Oh, is it sneaky? Well, maybe not. Maybe you can see the server. I was expecting it on this list now. Well, part of the reason is that to use the Steam networking is so I don't need to do that. Can you guys see a server now or not?
We'll start the game now.
No servers located in the console. Oh, found bad server with Steam ID, blah blah blah. Server was 0.
I found bad server. Server was...
found bad server with Steam ID, loads of numbers,
Yeah.
/ more numbers.
Yeah, that means that...
Sorry, yeah, server was 0.
Yeah, so that means only part of my information has got up to Steam for some reason. Just going to force that. I did. But yeah, I was very much expecting and hoping not to have to forward ports. It might be I need to just do something else. It might be because the game's not released. I don't know. But I did most definitely set up the button marked route my data that should be automatically routing via the Steam backend, but that might just be for data, not for matchmaking. I don't know. Okay, I am going to be a taxi. I'm running a server. View servers, there we go.
Who is hosting the server?
I might be. But it says I'm not.
I started the client.
Did it work?
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter. So I know this will work when I can see myself on this list. I can't see myself on this list, therefore it's not working. Although I've even added things like 127.0.0.1. I was using 10.6.6.6 before. That was the one I normally use, because that's the Doom port, I believe. But I can't remember if I also have to change these and these. I've had this working before. This isn't like, oh no, it's not working, I wonder why. I have made it work before. And it was working before. But for some unknown reason, it's not. Well, that is beside the point. You can always just run your own server and just fly around and look at things. That's kind of, that bit does work, while I quietly scratch my head and wonder what on earth I've done wrong here. I don't think it's my code. I think it's the setup of my router somewhere along the lines. Doesn't help that Sneaky Spaceships and Sneaky Spaceships with different S's are... and I'm fairly sure it should be appearing on the LAN regardless. I'll tell you what, let me just make a build and do it from the build. So regardless of that it's not working, which a smart man would perhaps have checked first. This sort of, does it give you an idea of the game? I hope it gives you a mild idea of the game. But there are a lot of questions, and I kind of want to put it out on Steam with a look, here's a basic game with one level and a minimal amount. If we want me to do more, if you think this is a great idea, let me know and I will do more.
Should probably test this off stream because I've launched it. It's not sort of working in VR. I've just got like the opening screen with the ship going past, but it's stuck to my face.
That probably doesn't work on that. If you just press F1, it should just go straight in. The VR support's, I'll say minimal, but it's just it works in game. I didn't really check the not VR, the getting it in from the outside bit.
So I don't need VR then. I can do it without.
You can do it without, but if you just press F1, it should just then start the game up with you sitting in the spaceship. When Schalke did
it does nothing.
Does nothing.
Yeah.
Just literally nothing?
Yeah, just carries on animating. I'll try again with the VR off and like that.
Right, let me just try running from external. And
I assume it's working for Schalke.
yeah, if I press start server, it churns for a moment and then goes 3, 4 seconds. Oh, sound effects too.
Yeah, starting server gets you into a ship, but starting a client doesn't get you into a ship.
No, because starting client will try and join a server that you failed to join. That seems really obvious. Again, this is not a game. I'm not presenting you a game and saying, hey, let's play it. I'm presenting to you an idea I wish to sort of have a look at. We're a long way from, hey, I found a bug. That's months down the line. There, Is has joined.
Well,
it just worked. Is has joined.
Well,
Is has
I'm
left.
watching it again now. Okay, I'll start again. I'm going to submit a review to Metacritic right now. Preparing to launch.
Yeah, there we go. It's now working. It's just a port thing. So it's definitely working. You can definitely join. You should be able to join in VR. You should just have to just basically...
Press start server.
No.
And
No, don't press that. Press join client. Why would you start a server up?
Because she said press F1. Right, I'm in a ship now. It's working this time.
I think you're just hosting a server. I've got...
Yeah, but at least that worked.
Yeah, but you can just join our game. You don't have to...
So press F2 instead, yeah?
Yeah, press F2 instead, yeah. Main breaker.
Definitely didn't work the first time.
I don't know. Oh, it did. Is has joined. Is has left.
Yeah, I've left again now. Now I'm launching again.
In theory, I should be in the game.
Yeah, so I would suggest when you start the game up, press 1 to engage the main breaker, which turns off the red lights, and then press F5 and F6. Now, in theory, you can toggle the little things down there. You can't. But you want the F5 and F6.
Does work with the spacebar.
Spacebar toggles every single toggle. That's just a debug key. I wouldn't press that.
Oh, okay.
But you want... on your...
It worked.
So you can use your mouse to look around. You want... 1 F5 and F6 on, and if it's a bit dark, flip 4 for the map light. First game with a working map light. Yeah, Is has joined. I don't know. Yeah. So in theory, right now, assuming you guys, I don't know if you chose Hunted or Hunter, because Shauka's a taxi. Yeah, you're all right. You all chose right. So we've now got 4 hunters.
What?
Huntheads.
Let me
No choice.
switch.
Yes. I mean, if you didn't read the text and you just jammed random keys, I've no sympathy. Obviously, eventually there would be
Controller.
a lobby screen. Yeah. But in theory, this is now, I say the game. And it does list, if you look at things, it should list the names of them. I got flicked, so unfortunately there is an issue that when you join, I think you all join inside each other. Shauka has left.
Yeah, wondering.
Again, I'm going to, remind you that if you expect to join and quit the game and join again and it worked, that maybe not. But this is not a game. This is not even really a prototype. This is a discussion piece. I think it's...
Is there a button to reset the headset view?
Spacebar. But apparently it doesn't work. So is your headset wrong? And if so, can you sort of describe to me what's wrong?
When it started up, it was facing one direction. When I put it on, it's now facing the wrong direction. I am now looking out the side when stats ahead.
So if you press spacebar, it will toggle all of the switches. So I press spacebar twice, and it should also call the VR center.
How do you reset your head view?
Should be
it's not resetting that.
Yeah, so that's something I need to look at. I don't know why, because it worked perfectly for me. It was spot on, but then Shauka said I'm the wrong height, and I don't know why.
I've got to turn around then. Oh well, okay. No. Sat looking out the left.
And the VR was mostly just to sort of say it's quite easy to put VR support in. So I'm currently parked over by the space station. Somebody wants to come and we can check the networking. So this is my point. Right now, I am a bad guy, and I think Shauka... I know, Shauka's a transporter. I don't think we have anybody who's a policeman. A lot of the assets were bought or upgraded or fixed for VR Space Mare, which is another VR game that I would like to ship.
Roll.
There we go. Now I'm not the right height, but I'm in the middle of the cockpit, so...
Oh, what did you press?
She just restarted it.
I exited the game, and then I recentered my VR view.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know what... So I'm calling Center of VR, but that is something I will need to resolve. Obviously. I'm just waiting for someone who looks human. That person is appalling flyer, so he's either a human or an AI. What button is headlights? Running lights 3. So yeah, if you guys just head towards the space station so we can sort of vaguely test the networking and sort of get a rough idea. I do need to figure out a button to turn off all of the UI. I assume you guys have exactly as much UI as I do.
I'm in a headset. I have no UI, metaphorical UI.
F11,
What's
F11 and F7 turn off the UI. So that's a start.
they rendered in VR?
No.
Right. Ooh, screenshot taken. What was I pressing then? Oh god.
F12. Well, if you can't see the UI, don't worry about it. It's only if it's too much UI. I turn off the. Oh, there's no brakes on left shift. I forgot about that. So I'm sitting by the entrance to the space station waiting for a human. Are you a human? Is there any humans here?
I am a human, but I don't know where everyone is.
Yeah.
Oh, with the mouse too far.
It was a green lightsaber-esque thing.
Hi, Doc. I'm in.
But the idea is it'd be a fairly slow-paced, fairly tense game for the hunted, and the hunters would probably have a bit more of an intense time because they'll be constantly running around trying to work out where the hunted is. I should probably just say police and criminals. Oh wait a minute, loveface.xyz online strips without clothing. Online strip shows without clothing. I assume they start with clothes, so it's going to be very short.
So a button for inverse Y?
No. There will be a toggle for it, though. No, it's a spaceship. Forwards is down. Is forwards not down?
Well, at the moment, I've just got in the ship and I'm just moving the mouse and it's going forwards.
The mouse, all the mouse does is look around the cockpit, doesn't do anything else. If you're on keyboard, it's WSA and D to move, and IJK and L to
that's my point. So I've just got into the cockpit and the mouse is moving my view around the cockpit.
Yes.
But Y is inverted, which feels instantly wrong.
Why not being inverted for a plane game would be the most batshit thing ever.
But I'm not flying the plane. I'm looking around the cockpit.
Oh, right, in the mouse. Yeah. Why would you do that? Use the VR headset. Yeah, that's just obviously that's debug. Again, you guys are a year too. You're critiquing it as if it is a year further down development than it actually is.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. I said I'll come at it with completely virgin eyes, and I'm just the first thing I notice is that I move my head with the mouse, and it's upside down. That's all. Just an observation. Don't take it too critically.
Yeah, it's the signal to noise ratio. I don't care is the more important thing. What I care about is, I quite like the spaceship flying, or I feel the game should have some feature. Shao,
that's fair enough. Thanks for that. But all I'm saying really is, like, is this supposed to be looking around the cockpit? And you've confirmed that it is. So.
It is, yes. Shaq, if you back off a minute and just tap 3, you should flash your lights at me. I hope. Can you see me flashing my lights?
I can see something flashing.
So you just toggled your cargo off and on.
Headlights is more like UI lights.
No, if you're too close. You're too close, I think. It's possible that ship doesn't even have a searchlight. This one does. Can you see me flashing my lights off and on?
If my HMD was a better resolution, I might actually see something flashing.
Do it again. You couldn't pay attention.
No?
Not seeing it.
I mean, I can see your one working. Like you keep toggling off your cargo, so your cargo at the back toggles off and on. So as the hunted, you can at any point switch between a laden and unladen version of the. Oh dear, has it just crashed? No, I think I put it in high detail. Sometimes it just sort of dies. I'm waiting for it to undie here. But I don't Oh, hold on. Now Discord's gone. I think my whole computer has just gone a little bit horrible.
It's a light.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. My mouse cursor is now moving at like 1 frame a second. Maybe I shouldn't be running Steam and Unity.
What did you just shoot?
Thank
I
you.
got one spinning. Is I the victim?
I'm just trying to... Come on,
Yeah,
PC. You would have thought by now the concept of any program slowing down your Windows user experience was a non-thing. Oh, did I close? Okay, yeah, the game died. I don't know what my whole computer stopped working then.
Oh, right. You were sort of stopped mid-sentence, then it restarted. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So I will run another server, but this time I will be the... So if you all run the game now, if you rerun the game, and on the main menu, in the top right, unless you're in VR, in which case it probably doesn't do anything, you can select either a taxi, a mineral collector, or a cargo transporter, or a police ship. Those are your 4 options, and obviously they should determine which side you are on. I'm going to go with police ship, just because I didn't, and I am now starting the server as a police ship. Obviously, eventually, you would have a lobby, you would choose your roles. Yeah, the problem with these sort of things, it's very hard to... This is why I keep trying to set expectations and goals and explanations. Otherwise, the signal-to-noise ratio of, oh, the frame rate's a bit rubbish, or what's wrong with these funny shadows, or why can I do this? Just overwhelm the actual point of the
How do you
discussion.
pick a ship?
Numbers.
1, 2, 3, or 4. So that's taxi, cargo collector, something else, or police for 1, 2, 3, or 4. It doesn't. I mean, it's probably easy if you just all pick police because we all start in the same area if you do that.
Well, I had to asteroid miner.
Yeah, I mean, you're somewhere. I'm a police ship, so hopefully in a moment somebody else chooses a police ship. It looks cool. It does look cool in VR when it works.
Yeah.
Like looking at the space station up close, most of the stuff is pretty high resolution. And I really did enjoy just being in Elite and just being... And I kind of wonder if this game will eventually just evolve into a role-playing server. So you just spawn in and it's like you're a taxi. Go around and do taxi things. And then you have to like ask clearance in the ATC, or maybe you get suspected of smuggling drugs. Maybe you get offered to smuggle drugs. And then you accept it. Oh, there you go. Someone's just spawned in. Thanks, Unity. Okay, so I have a spaceship here. If you just rotate, if a policeman, if you rotate 90 degrees to your left, you should see me. No. I'm not going to answer a question about why the police lights are managing to have a spinny thing through fog. That's because otherwise you can't tell who they are. But in theory, that person there should be able to press 3 and 2 to toggle off the cargo, which is the spinny lights, and the headlights, which are, headlights. And I said this will be the first ever game with a working map light, so you can, I don't know why you want it, but there's a map light on that toggle. Who is the policeman?
Maybe me.
At which point do I press a button to spawn as a policeman?
On the
After joining the server?
No, on the main menu. Before you join the server, you choose your role. That's the first thing you do.
Okay, right, fine.
Obviously, there would be a lobby. However, is the
Yeah.
So I was trying to move myself in front of the policeman, and they decided to spin away from me. It might also be fun, as I said, of just a. Oh, hold on. There's another police car there. Who's that looking at me? Hold on, let me flash my light. Who's looking at me? I'm flashing my lights.
That would be me.
Flash your lights and your cargo. Press 2 and 3 together. And press 3 a few times. Oh right, okay. Your beam is just okay. I don't see it from this angle because yeah, that's actually quite cool. So again, this is sort of showing off some of the things you can do. So as the policeman, you can obviously be subtle, turn all your lights off, or you can be quite obvious and turn all your lights on. So sometimes you would want to sneak up on the hunted, but I don't know whether or not the police should have for example, a scanner. Should the scanner takes 10 seconds to complete and tells you for 100% fact if the ship you're looking at is a good guy or a bad guy, or should it be more like prop hunt, where it's kind of you never really know until you shoot them and they start bleeding? Should the chase? I think that the physics are a bit floaty and difficult to consider having a chase, really. Bop, 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 bop. Or are they? Or would this be? It'd be pretty.
Blood Rose says she thinks both are a problem.
She thinks both are a problem. Which?
A confirmed scan, or you don't know?
Both are a problem.
The middle point. I think there's a middle point somewhere that you can find where it would satisfy doing searching and detective work without it being like, oh yeah, if you did stop, clearly you're a hunter and it's in your best interest to stop and be scanned if you're not being hunted.
So cool. So as a hunter, if I stop and agree to be scanned, why would I do that if the scan would throw up that I am in fact lying? What's my advantage to let them scan me? I mean, to a degree, this is a little bit of Among Us, a little bit of Werewolf, a little bit of Prop Hunt, all kind of mushed together in one VR game. So these are questions that obviously you have to answer for those games too.
Maybe if you have forged your documents well, then the pit stop information will check you out and list you as innocent better than unchecked vehicle.
Right.
The risk reward on whether the forger is good or not. Which could use human eyes or some kind of dice rolling.
So what? At the beginning of the game, I get given a set of forged documents, which may be good or bad based on reasons.
Or as the chase victim, your job would be to guesstimate something that could be plausible. Maybe gather information that makes it plausible.
You can go and get false documents somewhere.
Okay, so I mean that's not a bad idea. You pick up a transponder. So you start off with no transponder. So if you are scanned at the beginning of the game, you're definitely caught as the bad guy. Whereas if you have picked up a transponder, then you can get scanned and get away with it. So scanning is something the police can do, but it's not guaranteed to tell you who if it's the criminal. It just has a chance depending on #factors. That's not a bad idea. So one of the questions I think is a more difficult question. When you have determined that they are indeed the bad guy, what happens then? What's the fail condition as the criminal, or the win condition for the police? Like, literally how, not fluffily how, exactly how. Go.
Police need to track the criminal to jail. Have like webbing from Eve and stuff.
Drag them to jail? That's vague. What
like on the dogboard on the space station, if the criminal is brought there, they lose.
Okay.
If they blow up the thing, they win.
Okay, but right. How? So this is the thing about computer games. You can't do half statements or half comments. You can't just say you bring them to jail. How do you get them to go to jail?
When police is in proximity on something, they can activate an ability that links their inertia. when the police moves, the target moves.
Do you
You can use track the target to that station.
Do you actually think you can physically do that? Assume I can implement that, which I could do. Do you actually think you could fly another ship remotely without just smashing it into stuff?
Maybe not, but that could be part of the hilariousness of it. Or making plausible, like you know that you are being tracked, making something that makes the tracking more difficult, but is plausible that you were not deliberately sabotaging your arrest.
No. So, grappling hooks is, I'm going to say no. It will be cool, but no, because of the inherent issues with the physics on that. That would be a very difficult thing to do. I've tried to do it before. I'm not going to try. Laser blasts is kind of one of my questions, but I don't know. So let me. Is anyone near me? I'm just sort of parked in front of the police station, in front of the dock.
I don't know if I'm near you.
Well, I've got my sirens on. That should be quite obvious.
Yeah, I can't see.
Well, where
sirens?
You can't. Where are you? What kind of ship are you in? What kind of ship did you join? Actually,
I think a taxi.
No, you're a collector. So you are a bad guy.
All right.
Right. So,
okay.
Yeah. So do you see the big space station with the advert for the hotels and things on it?
I think I can see them.
Yeah, fly.
I think they're adverts. I haven't got a high enough resolution to be able to see that they're adverts.
Well, if you fly a bit closer. Mike, regardless of whether it's bullets or lasers or stuff that slows you down, I don't actually think the flight model is sharp enough by a long way in order to do that. In reality, I mean, in the Expanse proved this. In reality, you need point defense cannons. You don't aim the front of your ship. That would be a terrible idea. Is that somebody in that collector?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You've got the rock on. Toggle the rock off.
Rock?
That's,
How does one do that?
That's very cool. Yeah, that works. So, okay. So, Shark, if you turn around and try and run away and just pretend for a moment that you are slower than I am, I don't think I could get Shauka. This is my issue. If Shauka decides to boot it now, I don't realistically think I can shoot him. So I'm like, hey, you, stop. And then he accelerates away. Are you accelerating?
Yeah. Should I go full blast? Or...
Yeah, run away. Don't run into the space station, because obviously we've put the space station on red alert. You have to try and get away from me. Maybe if I ram you, that counts as something? Oh. Ooh, I rammed him. I'll tell you what, this is where VR would be an advantage, because in VR, I could actually look around and go, where'd he go? So now, that's interesting. I've just turned around. There are two collectors here, and I don't know which one's Shauka anymore. You see? There's our game. That's what I'm talking about. Right now, Shauka doesn't know it, because I've just said it, but one of those two collectors I can see is probably Shauka. So if he was sneaky, he could just go, I am just a normal collector. There's a taxi here. Who's that? Oh, the taxi ran me. Thanks, AI.
Maybe if you can chase more close to the target, you can drain the batteries. Then you run out of energy and can't thrust, so you are easy to dock with.
Maybe. Is that fun? I can't tell.
My main thrust.
Clear up the HUD.
F11. Turns off all the debug.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right, I can move now.
Shaka, can you just toggle your rock off? Oh.
Rock off.
Yeah, all right.
What's the button for that?
That's show accessory. That's 2. That's toggle number 2. You should be able to see the toggles at the top of the screen. Just about.
VR?
2. You can still see the toggles. Oh, that is you. Okay, that is Shauka. Okay. But yeah, I had no idea whether that was you or not, Shauka. You could have easily turned around and slowly driven off back to the asteroid belt, and I would have been none the wiser that was you. But, I mean, I can type...
Or about breaking line of sight rather than running away?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what if you no, not even running away. If you had slowly moved to the asteroid field, I would have had no idea that was you anymore. I completely lost track that was you. You could have been sneaky on the way out there, and that's really cool. Zebra, if you don't do anything by default, as long as you've tagged F5 and F6, the ship will automatically come to a flat halt. If you put your ship into a spin, I suggest you just close your eyes. But what you should do now, Shaka, is stop, flash your lights a bit, and then go around me in a kind of an AI-ish sort of way. It's down to me as the programmer to make the AI good enough. But I still... So, Shaka, again, if you try run away, and I won't ram you this time, so I'm like, hey, you're the bad guy. I've scanned you. It's blipped you as the bad guy.
Where's Shaka?
Shaka is between the cargo ship Reliant and my god, this.
Oh, I see him behind me.
So he's between cargo ship Reliant and cargo ship Discovery. Sorry, but now if you look at something, it tells you what it is. Sometimes it says things like mineral collector arm. So Shaka, if you run away, I can see you now. I think that's Shaka. Are you running, Shaka?
I'm doing
running up.
maneuvering.
You're doing what?
I'm
Maneuvering.
running. My bad choice might not be the best.
I wonder if
I'm
you're
flying behind a mineral collector.
I have actually implemented some energy things, but I forgot to actually implement them up to the bars. The bars are animating up and down. They should actually show you your energy. I don't know what Shaka's doing.
Who's flying a mineral collector?
I think Shauka's flying a mineral collector. But there are a lot of mineral collectors that aren't flown by Shauka. Oh, I think Mr. Chicken is also in a mineral collector. It's Mia, me, and Izzard are police. Mr. Chicken and Shauka are collectors.
Cargo ship Reliant. Okay.
Right. Well, I'm flying behind someone in a mineral collector. I'm flying behind a mineral
It's
collector.
just a station.
But that might just be an everyday, absolutely correct mineral collector. You're better off, of course, spooking them by flying over their cockpit so they go, oh, it's the police, and then do something non good guy. The problem is, of course, you can't see them if you overtake them. So you kind of need to do the Top Gun thing of fly upside down over them so you can stare upwards at them.
There is no up.
There is.
Okay, so I have 3 ideas that I was thinking. Number 1, it would be interesting if, like, the hunted people leave behind some clues of, like, data of their activities and stuff, so that the police need to find that data and kind of piece together, okay, where are they going? What does the ship look like? So on and so forth. So it gives them some idea of who and what they're looking for and where they might be going.
Hold on, 2 seconds, hold there. Shaka, are you in VR or 2D?
I am at Flatlands.
Cool. Can you also see my stream?
Yep.
Cool. So just touch on Blood Rose's card. So that's you, Shauka, there, I think. So if you fly forwards and left, can you go and touch that little fuel thingy over there? It's at the far end. It's at the front of Cargo Ship Reliant. I realise there are 2 things called Cargo Ship Reliant. So yeah, there is already...
The directions were a bit buggy.
Go forwards and 90 degrees left.
You want me to come towards you or away from you?
Neither. I want you to drive forwards and take a 90-degree turn to your left. So accelerate and turn 90 degrees to your left and continue to accelerate. I begin to wonder if this is actually Mr. Chicken. Mr. Chicken, can you do a barrel roll for me? Oh, fuck, that's Mr. Chicken. Right, I've no idea. This is where this game beats out Prop Hunt already. Is trying to work out who the fuck is who. Okay, I have no idea where Shauka is. Okay, Shauka, can you do a barrel roll?
Doing a barrel roll.
Right, that's not Shauka then.
I flew through a tube.
Where are you then, DJ?
Okay, I'm just above you up in the frame. Okay, so Henry,
Yeah.
So right, we'll get Henry.
Want me to blow up the targets?
Yeah, but only the one I'm looking at. So Henry, if you fly forwards, I do recommend, if you haven't, toggle on toggles F5 and F6, which are in your lower left, and that helps. That makes the flying much easier.
I'm kind of fan of the hard flying, but
that's up to you. That's up to you. So, Henry, do 45-degree turn to your left, and you should see a series of pretty cylinders. Incidentally, if you want to make life easier, you can press F10 to toggle different backgrounds, and some of them make the world much brighter than others. Now, if you were on F5 and F6 off, you have to do full, proper 6DoF expanse style maneuvers, and good luck with that computer helping you. So, Henry, you just have to.
I've just toggle that shit.
I wouldn't. I keep them on if I were you. I can tell that you've turned them off because you're now just flailing through the universe sideways.
Oh, yeah, that's because my left and right is not rotate; it is turn, which is screwing up my mental map of what I should be doing.
Are you using a joypad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the left stick is translate, and the right stick is rotate.
I know what things are, but it's.
You just panicked.
Not.
But the target is side reliant.
It's at the front of it. I think I've got two things. They cargo ship reliant, just to be annoying.
My F5 button's not toggling anything.
Oh,
I can't see a toggle for F5 on in game. I can see F6.
Target.
You can only see one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. In VR, I'm going to have a. It does say you want aero steering. Sorry, out of VR, it says aero steering true, gyro balancing true. Oh, I think someone's close. I think that might be Schalke. Yeah. So yeah, the hunters have to do a series of tasks.
And I can follow this up.
Yeah, what those tasks are, question mark. But hopefully, in a moment, we should see that explode. Hopefully that works, and that will give.
I haven't seen anyone.
That will give all the police a big clue where they are.
Oh crap! Right, gotta get away.
Are you flying away, Schalke?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Boom. No, there you go. It's going up.
I'm gonna leave the.
Yeah, but but I wasn't sure it exploded. But so there you go. So we now know that one's blown up. We would obviously get a notification. The debris hangs around for quite a while, so we can which it is. So we do have now a clue that Schalke has done something. And obviously at this point, Schalke would need to RLF, switch his form, become someone who's not this. Like run away and then come back slowly, going, oh, what explosion? I'm just an AI. So that begins to cover some of that. The thing is, I've only got one idea, which is there's floating platforms to blow up, and we obviously need more than one task. Although that is a lot more tasks than Witcher has. Does that cover some of what Blood Rose was meant?
I still haven't seen anyone.
You haven't seen anyone?
Whereabouts are you?
We're all at the space station end of the repair tube.
Okay.
By a green jump gate.
Starts to cover it. I'm just thinking like something that indicates maybe what kind of ship it was, especially if you can change form. That would be smart on the imposter part, where you need to rush to change your shape because the cop can come over and see, oh, it was a yellow ship with two arms in the front. Yeah, so my initial plan was that the hunter can at any point switch out their hollow disguise to become any ship, but that might be too easy. So it might need to be like Witchit. So what they have to do is find an AI ship, look at it, and press the bibbidi bobbidi I look like you button. Which could be especially cool if they go bibbidi bobbidi I now look like a policeman. Because you guys have no specific intercommunication with each other other than maybe a voice chat system. That
would be hilarious.
Well, there might not even be any indication of how many hunters there are. And we were discussing this previously. I don't necessarily think the hunters should have to disclose who they are. So there's 5 of us. I can see who is a hunter and who's not because I've got some debug information. But you don't necessarily have to. You could say, oh, no, I'm a policeman. Oh, all right, then cool. All right. I'm just at the other end from where you are. You might work out after a while, but a bit like Werewolf, you can lie if you want to. That's not a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, maybe Schalke, but Zebra. I mean, the point is, you want to be right. in VR, you do have a huge advantage because you can glance up and behind you. So VR, I suspect, will be a huge advantage in this game. Now,
So here's an idea.
yeah.
For imposters changing appearance, maybe it would just like indicate to the cops, okay, there's strange activity going on over here. So the imposter has to hide in a good place and try to make sure no cops are around, and then they can change form, and then have to fly away quickly to act as a NPC again.
So I'll make a note. I've got a Trello, of course. So what you're suggesting is imposters. How can I describe it? Imposter copy leaves behind a long glow, an effect.
Essentially, yeah, something to indicate something here has changed. So let's go investigate.
Yeah. Now that actually gives an interesting thing because the level itself, and I can't show you because I'm not in Unity, is split up into 3 areas. There's the taxi area, the cargo ship area, and the mining area. So based on where you find the marker, to a degree, they are able to... the police could be able to deduce what ship they likely are. Of course, it's in the hunted's interest to try and find a ship that's maybe not quite where it should be, and then nab that one. Did you find anyone yet?
Do you know where I am? I'm at the end of the tube. I've come out of a tube.
A round tube or a diamond tube? A round tube or a diamondy
tube? I'm out of a diamondy tube and I'm looking at a round tube that looks like a sort of jump gate thing.
Oh, I think you're at the wrong... So if you go back towards the diamondy tube, I'm heading in there. I might actually make the ships accelerate a little bit quicker. They are a wee bit lackadaisical on their acceleration.
Do they have some other property than acceleration that affects their driving?
Mass, the aero, the attitude, and the directional thrusters. I do like the tube, by the way. It's a good place to. I mean, I'm coming in through the other end of the tube.
I've just gone past a crane.
Yep.
Thing.
Can you see someone coming towards you, beneath you?
No, because it's too bright.
Are you sure?
Yes, I can now. Yeah.
Wait, are you sure? Because I've just rammed you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not see me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Like a tram.
I can see you, Izzard. You're at the bottom. Yes. You're at the bottom of the dry dock.
You hit the top of the thing.
Well, there is a policeman at the bottom of the dry dock here. I do feel this game is more about slow and careful manoeuvring, though, rather than just blasting through. Can you see me now? You're doing a barrel roll.
Yes.
And you can.
Yes.
Okay. The last I got from you was I can't see anything. It's too bright. And then I rammed you like 3 seconds later.
Well, then your audio's not working.
I didn't hear anything either.
Henry didn't hear anything. And there's another policeman. Oh yeah. I might have to reduce the spinniness when you ram people. This is a bit high. I quite like the dry dock. I think it's quite cool. That needs to be rotated 90 degrees so you can't see in it quite so far away. But, I mean, my main question is this a game that I should spend more time on? And if so, what are the sort of critical next steps? You can currently run servers and join as any ship or role. You can also... amongst yourselves, decide the win and lose conditions.
Well, is it your intent that you only find other ships visually, or is there going to be some sort of radar?
So one of the ideas I've got, and I like it, but I don't know if it's not a good idea, is to also have a third type of role, which is the ATC. And the ATC can see the whole play area as a sort of a hologram, VR or whatever, and describe what's going on, and do that. The suggestion was that at the beginning of a round, you have no forged documents, you have no transponder, and that if a policeman scans you, they will realise instantly that you are the bad guy. If you find a transponder, then the police won't be. If they scan you, you will register as good guy. Maybe it only works once or something like that. So there should be some way of scanning people and some way of ensuring that isn't 100% yes or no.
Or being able to fake it.
Yeah.
To speak.
My more of my question really is, what do you do once you realise they are the bad guy? So Shaka says that they have to fly into the prison dock to signify that they give up, which is fine, but I don't know why they would give up.
Okay, so regardless of transponders with ID,
yes,
I feel like there really ought to be at least a kind of like elite style radar, so I can see pings and things around me. Because not that anything about this is realistic, but it seems super realistic to be flying just using your eyes and not having any kind of detector.
Yes. I don't have that currently, but that's
kind of radar.
There isn't.
The
Well,
mobile direction indicator kind of works as a radar.
Yeah, but it doesn't have anything on the radar though.
That could easily
Yeah,
imagine there being indicators. At least in VR, that is kind of readable.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't show where the ship's at, does it?
Not currently, but maybe that would be something to add.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
yeah.
that critical or not?
It would be a Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a diegetic radar. I mean, it's not that hard to put in. I don't know if it's needed, but obviously I haven't put it in, so it's a little bit tricky to tell.
Yeah, just because I spent like quite a good time just flying around trying to see another ship.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
So part of that is not knowing the level. So all ships arrive via the warp gates. And after you've played it for a while, hopefully you would learn where the ships go. So this is one of the things. I think I may have got the scale of the level way off. So I think the level might be way too big. But you begin to learn where ships are going to be, because they should be. They warp in, they do their thing, and then they leave. And because I wrote it, I usually have a pretty good idea if a ship's not doing what it should be. Like this ship here looks very suspicious, for example. But assuming I think this ship is suspicious, and I reckon this is Shauka. Shauka, can you just do a barrel roll? Yes! See? It's Shauka. Now what do I do?
The idea that I have for that is essentially give the imposter a choice where either they don't resist and the cop can take them to a prison, or if they try and run away or resist in some form, then they can get killed. And the reason to go with the cop to go to jail is that the other imposter...
Stop. Izzard, stop doing cutlery. I can't hear blood rose over cutlery. I think he's put his headset.
He walked away.
I think he's walked away with his headset. Sorry.
Well, I have. I thought I'd muted it.
So you're saying the imposter has the option of coming quietly, right? But why would they? What's their advantage to coming quietly? They maybe they can go, ha, I'm not coming quietly. But at that point, all the police would be surely after them. Sorry, go on.
Because if they go quietly, then they can be rescued by any other of the imposters. But if they try and escape, they can get immediately taken out of the game. They can try and run away, escape, hide, and turn into another ship. But that's risky. Or they go quietly and can be rescued by their allies. Conversely, to put time pressure on the hunted, it could be that like after a certain amount of time, the ship is scraped of data and you learn about another hunted player.
I kind of like the idea. I'll call it a timeout, shall we say? I kind of like the idea of the timeout you could be rescued from.
This is what it brought to my mind was, what if giving up does provide some sort of evidence against you, but not enough, and it starts a timer, and after that amount of time, then they will have enough evidence against you. Meanwhile, if you put up a fight, you're just creating more evidence.
So, what kind of the idea there is that they pop you in jail, and then the prison ship comes along to take you out the round permanently, but the prison ship will take 5 minutes to get there or whatever. So your fellow criminals, your fellow criminals have 5 minutes to rescue you. So kind of like the Gulag in Tarkov, which none of you have played apparently. The problem I have with that is what on earth do you do for 5 minutes apart from just twiddle your thumbs and protest innocence, obviously.
ATC for the criminals.
I mean, yes. I mean, they could get a more interesting view. Shakubai, if you're trying to run away, I've just followed you with absolutely no issues at all.
I was a little testing on whether that's tricky or whether it's easy to just.
Are you playing with gyro and aero steering?
No,
yes.
I think I'm full advanced.
Oh no, I've just clipped a rock. That's made my life difficult. This is it's very cool. I mean, one thing is always cool in spaceship games is doing maneuvers close to asteroids. The collision box on this ship is just well out though, so that's what's happening there. I'm getting way too close. But okay, so the hunthead, the criminal, has the option of coming quietly. I'm all for that. That is good because there's also the option of I'll come quietly at the last moment, no I won't, which ties up a policeman escorting you into the prison. All down with that. But what happens if they don't? Do we want missiles, laser guns? Like, how... Right now, I could kill Shaukat so easily. There's no chance he can outrun me. His only hope is that I drive into something. So do I make the handling much more snappy? So, you're doing more squadrons time style maneuvering. Much faster top speeds, much tighter turns so you can actually dodge people. Or is it... What I want kind of is right now I want to EMP Shauka and then tow him in. But I am well aware of what a challenging programming task having harpoons and let's call them what do they call in SnowRunner? Winches. It's a very difficult thing to do. So I'm kind of aware that that's probably not a sensible thing to try and implement.
Are you asking what the weapon of kill should be, or more generally what kind of interactions there would be?
I'm asking if the criminal decides he isn't coming quietly, what then? I've just followed you for ages.
I think
I just hit.
explosions and space fighter style stuff would be a lot of fun.
But potentially very, very difficult for me to implement. I can try, but I might find it's actually really hard.
I mean, alternatively, keeping with the slower pace instead of doing space shooting, maybe just kind of like almost a freeze tag style thing where you have to clap on an EMP device directly onto the hull of the other ship. So you still have to do some maneuvering, but it has to be direct contact.
Yeah. Yeah. Super close. I mean, this was one of my problems with, was it Unfortunate Spacemen? So in Among Us, you win. You go, you're dead, done. In Unfortunate Spacemen, you had the issue that if you were really good at first-person shooters, you could get caught and fight your way out of it, which misses the point, because then it's, he who's best at guns wins. The point is to be sneaky, not better at murdering. This was obviously the problem with Assassin's Creed as well.
If you had a laser that would charge up and it would show where the laser would shoot, and then you could have dodge, then if the laser charge is slow, then that could be dramatic.
Well, hold on. Look at the stream right now. Right? I'm charging my laser. You're dead. How would you see the laser? I'm behind you.
It would draw it. It would draw it, have warning, telegraph. I don't know whether Souls bosses do that they have very good telegraph. I guess Souls games have a kind of short telegraph.
Yeah, okay. So hold on. Right now, okay, so I'm charging my laser. It's telegraphing. Dodge. Right, you're dead.
but balance it so that you can on the open just move, change direction, and it will always miss. And then you need like some cooperation on some corner or something.
Okay, but what I mean is, I'm gonna charge my laser, and I won't even aim, and I'll tell you at which point you are no longer in the laser's fire path. Okay, so we're both flying along. I don't know what speed you're doing. Right, I am charging the laser now. It's about 3 seconds. If I don't bother doing anything, if I just aim at you and you swerve, you're out of my target reticule in about 3 seconds. I do agree there needs to be some more arcadiness and skill in the flight. As I said, though, I think this game is actually more about... I guess there's two issues. So when you're being sneaky, it's all about very fine and gentle control. You would then possibly toggle it into sport mode, which would be a toggle switch. It'd be so cool. You reach up, you flick on the afterburner, you flick off eco mode, flick on sport mode, and then you are probably better suited to running away, but you will drain your energy. So I do want a bit of energy management within the game.
Yeah, and I guess like doing good dodges for burning up energy, and then you're like tired. Then you can't do the super dodges. That could make the chases last, and like not be instantly over, but like making a good chase would mean successful capture.
So one of the things I need to implement then is, I'll say sport mode. So an ability to flip the vehicle into a much more responsive game mode. Because right now, if you were very responsive, you'll stick out like a sore thumb as not being the AI. Unless you're very gentle with your controls. So I will put a toggle for that. It's very easy to follow you, by the way. I don't know if you're actually trying to lose me, but I'm having zero issues whatsoever following you, tracking you. Now, if you ram me, ironically, because we both sort of flick off, it's very hard to locate you, but it will be a lot easier in VR.
Once you are very close, it's very hard to lose. But yeah. If I can break line of sight, then I can like make some turn. But if you're too close, I can't ever really break line of sight. When field force is just 0.3 seconds or anything.
I might have to take a little leaf out of GTA's book. So in GTA, there are only GTA 3. I think it's like 16 slots for cars. So if you drove a very, very rare car, 1 in 16 cars would have to be that one, because the game can spawn 16 cars. So I should probably ensure that whatever ship hunters are in, we spawn more of those ships.
Suggestion as far as movement and snappiness goes. Maybe give the criminals 2 modes of movement where they flip a switch. One of them makes them move slow like an AI, the other one lets them run away.
Yeah, sport and chill.
Yeah.
Sneaky and sport.
As far as other imposter games go, I realize one of the biggest mistakes that they make is that on parts of all players, they don't really make you make choices. Like in Witcher, the only choice you have is what prop you are at the start and where you're hiding. After that, you just sit around until a hunter finds you. There's no choice in it. But it's the choices we make that screw us up.
Yeah. So as the hunter... So again, this is one of the questions. And I'm saying, hopefully, I will link people this video and say, maybe we'll do a supercut. Or maybe we should take this video and re-script it and actually do it as a short video. So the hunter... Sorry, the criminals. Let's call them criminals, it's easier. The criminals have a bunch of tasks. How many tasks do they have? Let's say 10, for sake of argument. Do they have to complete 10 of 10 tasks? Or do they need to complete 10 of 5 tasks? 5 of 10 tasks? Like, do they have to complete everything? Or do they have to complete only 50% of the available tasks? Because in one sense, that means that all the players will just sit by the last task going, we damn well know it's this. But that is a bit weird, because that means that they know how many bombs there were in advance and what they were all doing.
Maybe there could be one guaranteed required task, and one of the clues that the police could get is to discover what is the mandatory task.
Right, but I need a lot more ideas for varied and interesting tasks than what I've got, because if there are... like what other? Is it just blowing up different stuff? I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, I'm thinking about it fluff based, but maybe like have a sample of the rare ore that they're mining, like industrial espionage
Okay.
objective.
So is
That
this
has the thing that it has many spatial locations it could be done in.
right? And do the police have any clue? Like hunters have collected 50% of the ore they need. I mean, they shouldn't do, obviously, but that doesn't necessarily mean that makes for a good game. Did I ever play EVE Online? Yes, I was in the EVE Online beta back in about 2000 and forever ago. Oh my goodness me, how many years ago was that? 2004? 2005?
Out then.
But yeah, so other things are I don't know, so espionage, steal ore secrets. Then we've got destroy VIP AI ship of some description. Someone suggested deliver contraband. And there's no R in contraband. Well, there's just one R. So yeah, a few things. I mean, they all boil down to the same thing. Go to a place and then you get a tick box. I really do wish I was playing this in VR, but it makes it very hard to make notes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all ships should have the eco and sport mode. The thing about the sport mode is it will give you double the speed, but 4 times the energy usage. So though you might use it, it will drain your energy. So you can do short thrusts, but not long ones. Remember, short control bursts. But I mean,
if there are two criminals, there could be a dead drop mission. That there's like a message tube that one criminal starts with, and then the second criminal needs to get the possession of it without the police intercepting.
So the problem we have with missions that don't involve you blowing something up, how do you indicate to the police that the criminal has done the dead drop, or they have delivered the contraband, or they have stolen an ore? When there's a big explosion and debris, it's really obvious, but it's not so obvious with the other ones.
If there's like a satellite transmission, like a communication laser being fired, that would be like a tip-off. And if the dead drop is like an item that can be found, that would be like the indicator that the dead drop has been planted but has not been collected. And then the police could have... Do they wait for the cover the other criminal, or do they like take away the dead drop so that objective can't be completed?
I like the idea, but I would rather put that as a low priority, because that means that hunters then have multiple potential roles within the same mission, because that means you can't like Hunter 2 can't complete it unless Hunter 1 has done it. Right now it's trigger based, so whether you're destroying a VIP ship, doing the espionage, delivering contraband, activating a satellite, it's the same. You just sit near it, maybe you toggle a switch, and it does it.
What about to encourage teamwork? The outlaws have contraband or something, or a singular item, which if they're sufficiently close to each other, they can pass surreptitiously between them.
Or just drop. Yeah, that's quite cool. Because then, of course, they're on to me. You fly around the back of something, you drop the item. I don't know how you then signal to the other hunters, I've dropped it by the warp gate. But yeah, dropping.
I'm thinking you could just transfer it to each other. Over a short
Maybe
range.
using the genuine NPC ships as a mule, in that you drop the important item in there and then retrieve it later.
So what you could do is you could have the hunters can perform a scan, but the scan takes some time. So you have your suspicions that someone's got the contraband, and you scan them, but before your scan is complete, they've palmed it off to a teammate who has swung by. So then you've got to decide: do you break off from your scan because you think it's passed to the other one, or do you stick and complete the scan?
Yeah, I used to really like scanning stuff in X-Wing. So that's something I would like to try and do. Oh, Shao could just ram somebody else. I think Shao could just rammed Henry. Have you got See, this is why you have F5 and F6 on, because it really stops that happening.
That would encourage communications as well. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts were for voice comms, if you'd have one voice channel or one for each team.
I wasn't going to even try and supply voice comms, as it's a logistical and programmatical and cost nightmare. I was going to say, get Discord.
Yeah, well, in that case, assume everyone's on Discord and they're all in one voice channel. You could still have that, because it wouldn't matter if it was an open channel. It could still be quite fun, if you've got the hunters saying, "Oh, I think he's just passed it to his mate," and then it doesn't matter that they've heard you, because they have to continue the deceit anyway and nonchalantly, fly off. You've still got the decision of whether to, because the outlaws will know whether they've passed it or not, but you as the hunters would have to decide.
Yes.
Who to go after.
I mean, the big question really is, do you think I should continue with this, and maybe we revisit it once a week to see sort of any progress and ideas? Like, is this something... I mean, I would probably, if this said VR support, HOTAS support, motion platform support, and it's I'll say a social deduction game, I'd probably give it a whirl. That ticks a lot of my personal boxes. It's got toggles, so that's another thing. It's got a map reading light.
I mean, part of me wouldn't mind just having this as a game that you kind of build a spaceship in. You go to one thing, someone's built something, you pick up a part of it, you take it over to another bit, drop it off there.
Well, multiplayer shipbreakers, that would be good.
Yeah, well, I did also feel that over the course of development of the game, I have a sneaky suspicion it might morph in. There might be a second game mode, which is spaceship roleplay.
Yeah.
Like... you are a taxi, you just deliver taxi people, and you might get, and then you might go, "Hey, I'm a criminal, deliver me here as quickly as possible," and if you do so, the police might chase you. Because I mean, I said I've seen people who love that shit, like the GTA role playing. There's no game there, it's just passing the time and doing stuff there. So yeah, I mean that's already crossed my mind. The reason that I came back to this project was when I was beginning to play Witcher and I was playing it wrong. There's something brilliant about when you are the criminal following the policeman, and the police, or in front of them, the policeman very obviously can see you, and hoping they don't work out that you are the criminal. And that's really fun. It's really tense. It's much, much, much better than when you're doing it with an AI with a vision cone. And it was really cool in GTA. In GTA 5, there was a mission where you had to do that. It was just super cool. We played a bunch of it, and unfortunately, it was very limited in scope. Oh my god, I can't fly this ship. There we go.
I'm bumping me.
To make it fun, it might need some additional constraints, like that you have to dock and fuel or something like that.
There is energy, but I don't think it's in the build that you've got. I know it's not working properly because you should be having the little.
You're ahead of me, DJ.
That is me. Yeah, I'll wiggle. Hold on, let me flash my lights. There you go.
I can't see a flashing light.
Oh, really? Can you see the siren on top of my car?
No.
Oh.
I mean, that might not be you.
No, it is me. Look, I'll do a barrel roll.
Okay, yep, that is you.
And you can't see
barrel roll.
You can't see any lights.
No.
Oh, can you just press 2 and 3 on your keyboard?
Hang on. Trying to. Somewhere around here. Okay, that's 2, 3.
Press 2 again. Okay, that works. Press 3 a couple more times.
My inside lights are toggling.
Yeah, so that the outside lights toggle along with the inside lights. That's not working for some reason. But when you toggle 2, I see your the rock appear. So in front of you is your rock. So yeah, we should have a display. So I mean,
I cannot see that rock.
No, you can't, because you couldn't see anything, could you? It's a terrible design. So if you turn the rock on, just stay still. Let me. I've turned the rock on. It's off currently. Right, so
it's on. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just completely on the piss here as well.
Hang on.
That's why I highly recommend flying with aero steering and gyro.
Well, I could level it off if I had better controls.
Oh no, I guess actually looking at the model, you could just about see thinking about it, I think the cockpit's actually in the wrong place.
Right.
I think. But yeah, I will try and add some, I'll say, arcadey elements. Like, if you're going backwards and accelerate forwards, you get 4 times the thrust. You know, just to try and make it more, I'll say, more playable. To make it easier, basically.
Yeah.
So is that my homework, is to try and make the handling, having a toggle for handling and making it more snappy.
Oh, you bastard.
Like, the networking's all right, surprisingly. The client interpolation isn't perfect, but it's not bad.
Hey.
Shauka is still bumping into you. I think it's Shauka.
I don't see the other ship.
Oh, they're directly above you. You're too close. I mean, Shauka, if you back off again, this is the advantage of even if you just keep gyro balancing on, which is F6, that has the advantage. You then have an up. Okay, then you have a plane of reference.
I don't like that a lot.
Yeah, but then you have a plane of reference to discuss with each other. Again, Star Trek had a plane of reference. Shauka, Mr. Chicken is down and to your left. Like, you'd have to angle down 45 degrees to see him. Can you see him now?
Nope.
Can you see me? I am about 90 degrees. Hold on, let me move to where Mr. Chicken is.
I can see Chelka.
It's possible if someone quits and rejoins within the same session that doesn't work. I don't know. I said I'm not professing for a moment this is buggy. There's stuff mission collisions. Obviously, I had to futz around with the ports. That's not really the point. The point is, if you pretend that it all works, is there a game there? And Shauka, you appear to be flying into some test rocks as well. So, Shauka, you should see me sidestepping in front of you.
Yeah, I see a police car going sideways.
And out of curiosity, have I got my sirens on and my lights?
I can see something from the back now.
Sorry,
I can see white and green.
Rails, but I don't see a siren.
And how about now?
No siren.
Odd.
Oh, I can see something. Hang on. Oh, that's your thruster. I can see red and green lights.
Red and green? What?
It's in beacons.
Police lights or
no,
what are they called?
Navigation beacons.
Nav lights, yeah. So ships have nav lights, which I think all ships have nav lights, which you can turn off to do. So ships can go very dark by turning off nav lights. Now, obviously, if a ship's got nav lights off, so this is a more soft side to it. No, if ships have got nav lights off, they're probably hoping not to be seen, because you can see the nav lights from a long, long, long way away.
Yeah.
I'm out of curiosity, how many ships do we actually have? So we've currently got 55. We've had 55 ships play in some way. I don't know how many of them. They do disappear. Like, they do dock and they do leave the system. But yeah, I will try and implement sport mode, which will be a toggle which will increase the aero handling. It will increase the rate at which your ship loses rotational velocity and the speed at which it gains rotational velocity. I do kind of...
It's hard to say whether there's a game there because it's so much in flux and like the essence of it would change so much.
Yes, well, that's kind of why I've got this. I mean, I'm hoping that a few people will actually sit here and go through the last 1.5 hours of waffling from us lot and say, hey, we should do this, we should do that, because I don't really know what the game is. I do kind of like the idea of, if you guys know Space Station 13, it's not really a game. It kind of is. You've got goals, but it's mostly buggering about and role-playing with your mates more than a game as such. And that's done very, very well for itself.
Yeah.
This has the advantage. It will be, as far as I know, I guess Werewolves Within is social deduction within VR, but there aren't many VR social deduction games, and it works perfectly well in 2D as well. But it works very well in VR, and hopefully on the motion rig, even in sport mode, I don't feel sick. So, unless there's any questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream, get a drink, and then start. Pardon me. Unless there's any questions, I'm going to stop the stream, get a drink, and then start the stream up on Lost Ark, and see if we hate it, which we might. And I know the stream loves a game that I hate. We can obviously continue to chat about this, and you guys now have seen the slightly newer version. I will fix the... I'll make a note as well, as hi Freddy, fix power bars. I will put a link there and into the Sneaky Spaceship channel on Discord about the Trello work. So I keep all my tasks on Trello, and you can see the tasks explode much, much quicker than I can possibly implement them. But unless there's any questions, I will stop the stream and get a drink, and hopefully everyone watching the stream will be back in about 5 minutes. Like and subscribe.
There's some interaction. Use predefined voice messages in voice chat.
I've just closed this. Oh no.
I guess people could use voice comms being in Discord, but having like some standard messages that would have some of the standard things to do.
So you want to target a ship, select it, beep beep, so it outlines or whatever, and then toggle radio communication, interrogation, police, where are you going? And then the other person gets to respond with police response, tell truth, I'm a criminal, or something like that. I
don't know whether targeting other ships, but...
Well, you can't just do it. You can't just broadcast it across the whole thing.
Why not?
Well, how do you know
who you're speaking to?
Who you're speaking to? Yeah. Where are you going? Is he talking to me? And the AI would probably go, I am going here, officer. Yeah, you need to specify a target, even if everybody hears you. I think that is a good idea, but I think it will require very careful design to ensure that there is enough breadth of decision making within both the questions and the answers to actually allow good gameplay. I think that might actually be really hard to do. So essentially you're talking about more or less a Mass Effect-ish style interrogation tree. Where are you going? What is your cargo?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else you would ask. And they reply with, I am carrying consumables headed for, I am carrying a rock. The only thing is, there's not much guile there. Like, you're just going to respond with the, I'm the collector delivering ore. Why would you lie?
Says that close range, 100 meters or so, like proximity chat, that could mean that you don't spam the whole space, and it's kind of reasonable that you're talking to.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're targeting it or it's area based. If you go, so what would you say? I'm a policeman. Where are you going? What else could you say?
I'm arresting you. That the target player knows that they need to decide whether they want to leg it or come quiet.
Okay, so you've got who are you, and you've got you're under arrest. What else? I mean, obviously, you need more than two options.
Where you are going, that could be one. And at least the NPC's ships would have a clear answer to that, and then have corresponding options for the player.
Okay, so you've got you're under arrest, and where are you going? I feel this is a good idea. This is what I mean about I think it needs a lot of design. I think you need to sit down and come up with a lot of options and a lot of comebacks, and then to design how the AI will listen to those and respond, and the human players. But to a degree, you can only respond correctly or incorrectly, and you'd only respond incorrectly if you selected the wrong thing. There's not much guile to be had there, is there?
Yeah.
You could record like how people actually communicate, and then like have the NPCs like start the interaction from the police dialogue, and then like copy what previous players have done for the NPC behavior, then it gets trickier to, I guess it makes it easier to pass off as NPC.
Yeah, but do you get my point? Like, unless I press the wrong button, I can't answer wrong. Where are you going? Are you expecting where am I going? And the person responds with, I'm dropping off cargo when they're a taxi. And then you go, haha, but you'd only do that if you press the wrong button.
I would thought that you would commit then to a plan. The police could then step off, and if you are going where you said where you're going, then your cover is intact. But if you break off and go somewhere you claim you were not going, then the cop knows that, aha, he didn't have all things in order.
Okay, so that's a little bit more complex, and that's good. So I have kind of named the things. Actually, hold on. Let me while we're just doing that, let me just run Unity a second, just so I can show you guys the scene, because obviously then I can actually explain a little bit better why that could not work. Oh, the queue's that big. I don't understand. This is Amazon. Can't they just run up some more servers? I love this. It has nothing to import. It's checking out if it has anything to import.
Yeah, are you going to try Lost Ark? Lost Ark?
Apparently, I should have started queuing an hour ago. But that was the plan. Give me a second. Let that import.
Plenty of servers when we tried it.
I'm going to grab a drink and let that import. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Is this the right scene? No. Flight scene. So, actually, hold on. Quickly before I go into the flight scene, we were talking about the ATC role. So I implemented this for the underwater game that I prototyped a while back. Part of my goal of this time period is to prototype some games. If they don't really work, just not continue, not to sort of plow on with something that just quite frankly I don't think it's going to work or I can't do. But this is the scene from there. So the VR player. What is going on with the bloom? So the VR player is in this room here. Oh, I can't see it. Oh, there's a hologram they can look at and a whole bunch of screens for them to watch various bits and bobs and toggles. More toggles. It's not very helpful. Come on, Unity. What is it doing? So yeah, this is the scene. This is the map that I've built. The arrows show the waypoints the AI can fly So the AI can spawn in from these 2 jump points or this middle of nowhere. And then they have branching decisions depending on what type they are. So I can actually say here that at the inspector. So I can say that from here, you can. If you go to here, you're definitely going to the repair dock, and that's fine. And then I can say that only certain types of ships can go here. So this one connects to the transport filter. So the transport filter here, that one. I was expecting more dialogue boxes here. Oh yeah, valid ships. There we go. So I can actually say only transporters can go through this. So I can actually set up on the level a series of gates and waypoints that different ships can go through or won't go through. I will actually just have a quick look. That's the cargo ship Discovery, and that's the cargo ship Reliant. Okay, no, it's a bug in the game, not my fault. So I do actually name... there we go. So cargo ship Discovery, cargo ship Reliant. I need another cargo ship name. Someone come up with a cool name and we'll rename this one.
Intrepid.
Thank you. Is that Star Trek?
I don't think so.
All the rest are.
On board.
Yes. I don't know. Let's see. Clearly, we've got Enterprise, Defiant, Excelsior.
We already have Defiant. We already have the cargo ship Reliance, Discovery. The Defiant's around here somewhere. But I've named everything. So the idea is that the hunters can call out. I suspect the area is too big. I suspect the AI should describe much slower paths with many, many, many more English routes and decisions and all of that. But this is just kind of an example. Honestly, I don't know what kind of maps work and which ones don't. Obviously.
Cargo ship Gravitas.
I've named them all now. It's fine.
Need more then.
The jump gate. Interestingly, the jump gates don't have a name. But yeah, I've got the ability to look up an impact preview, so it can look up the chain of the collision mesh and go, that's a. So yeah, I can actually do what Shauka is suggesting. That is actually quite possible. And I would need the speech for all of the possible places. And you go, you'd select cargo ship full heading to, cargo ship heading to drop ship, a cargo ship Intrepid. The funny thing is, you'd select it, and then you'd have to go, oh, fuck, which one's Intrepid? Like, if you don't know the map, then you'd be in trouble. The problem you have with that is once you do know the map, you're never going to make that mistake. It's only when you're like, I don't remember the names of the drop ships. Like the cargo ships.
Should the game be designed for newbies and veterans alike? Or is one or the other experience like where the focus is?
The problem is that the newbies will go, cargo ship Reliant? And then they go, well, that's not even on this level, so you should know that because they removed the impact 0.3 and then kill them.
I guess with those paths, when they are in one special location, if they are NPCs, they are only going for very limited amount of destinations.
They're quite floaty, shall I say? So I actually turn on the AI. I'm not sure how they have much in the way of rendering, but they're not very precise for following those routes. If they overshoot them, they don't really care. That's kind of yeah. So there you go. There's a taxi arriving. So yeah, I mean that's unfortunately that's on me, is making sure that they are complicated enough so a human can pretend to be like them, but also not so good at flying that no human could possibly be the same as them. They're not too bad at the moment, I don't think. But yeah, this is the ATC position would see a view kind of like this. Obviously, it'd be a bit cooler, but they'd see a something a bit like this. See, here's someone arriving via warp. Who's that? Is that taxi? No. Ah, it's a police ship. Ah, it's an AI police ship. I don't actually know why I'm spawning there. I was thinking about it. I'm not sure what you mean by non-participating players. I mean, there are police ships that don't do anything. I can't remember what they do. I'm not sure they should be spawning. That might just be a bug.
Like if some people are going to role play and some people are going to play sneaky spaceships, like would there be harming having them in the same game?
No, I mean if you want to just fly around and I mean I guess there's nothing stopping you just saying I want to be an NPC or an NPP, I suppose. And I don't actually know what this ship's going to do. But they're not bad actually. The ships at flying around and doing a reasonably good impression of being human. The thing is, if you're not doing something that is kind of like what an AI would do, that's your own bloody lookout. You know, you need to fly like an AI flies. They don't do barrel rolls. It's like in reality. You know, if you want to blend in, you just do 30 miles an hour down the road with everybody else doing 30 miles an hour down the road. But yeah, that guy there, he spawned in from over there, navigated this set of routes, and then he spawned out.
You have some variance in these, do you think? As in, rather than like point directions, you kind of have a sphere almost that it picks a point in the middle of it.
I mean, if you look at okay, that one's actually just overshot completely. Sometimes they do that. So that garbage collector was just going way too quickly. Who'd completely messed it up. But yeah, they don't head rigidly towards those points. But again, it's a space lane. I can't have the AI just go willy-nilly because they'll just beeline. So what happens here is if this one arrives at this point here and another ship is waiting at this point, that there is. So that policeman is waiting there because he's waiting for the next route free. So what will happen here is that this ship stops halfway because it can't route find further. Now, without these markers on, you have no hope in hell of deducing what they're doing. Ships are more or less doing the right thing. Cargo ships are heading towards that area. Taxis are heading towards the taxi rank, but it's not hard and fast. So, to a degree, you shouldn't be able to tell. It's only when I turn on the debug rendering, it's very obvious what's going on. Right now, it looks like they're actually reversing, which they probably don't want to be doing.
I still like the idea of having the ATC actually have like traffic control orders. Now you have automated the bots are doing them by themselves.
Yes, and you're saying that the AI, but the thing is, I'd actually need to implement physical traffic lights in the world because the humans would have no clue where to stop. So they need to stop at the traffic lights and go request clearance, which would be kind of fun because obviously you can run the red lights, which is always the best way to get caught in Mafia. This garbage collector has absolutely failed horribly.
I think the flight team communications don't like. There's no traffic laws in the air. The ATC just tells you what you are allowed to do, and if you start doing something weird, they will communicate on you're doing something weird.
Right, but I mean, if I were a ship and I'm a cargo ship and I arrive down here, I would just want to fly more or less towards the front of here, and then veer off around, and then I maybe the sneaky thing you do is around here somewhere. Again, I'm not going to say this is the right level. I've just been basically putting graphics in and sort of seeing what works and what assets I've got and what doesn't. But yeah, the player needs to do roughly what the AI do, and the AI need to follow rules. That's how AI work. I can't just say, do what you want, just fly around. I've had to program in specific things for the AI to do, because that's how AI works. So I
but
can't,
it could wait on the human. So like now they are like clearing up, like and they are going ahead. The ship behind magically sees that the next position is open. But if the ATC needed to push a button and recognize it's open, that could be a balancing factor. If the ATC has too much attention available, then running the whole space lanes could be a way to balance how much attention is available.
Yeah, I mean, the problem I have is I think that ATC is a cool role. It's just an awful lot of work, and I don't think it really affects the AI or the human players who should be doing more or less the right thing anyway. Like it doesn't affect them. It'd be cool and it'd be fun, and I like it. I'm just not sure it would. Oh dear, someone's gone wrong there. I'm just not sure it would affect the current gameplay. As you can see, right now we've actually got the AI. There's a lot more AI. It's a lot harder to tell what's going on and who's doing what they should. So there you go. That's all the AI highlighted there. Ignore all the there's loads of for some reason all the garbage ships are just driving wrongly. I don't know what's wrong with them. But you can see them all doing their thing. So at this point, assuming we had the ATC and assuming that the human is doing the right thing, should be quite easy to blend in. Unfortunately, this level is not very well designed and has the issue that there's one dock point and everybody tries to get into that dock point, and so you end up with this traffic jam back through multiple traffic lights. Now, a human would probably do quite well. So if a human just parks near these ships, you're never going to know it's a human. You're gonna just be like, oh yeah, they've stopped. And then if they just fly off, a police watching those is not going to work out that they are not an AI. I mean, the thing is, the AI also, I can't make the AI perfect. So this AI has screwed up in some spectacular way. And that's fine, because it will then do its best to control it and react it, and hopefully looks a bit like a human player while it's doing it. Is it going to survive? Is it going to dock properly? Yes. Look at that. Wow. That was amazing. I'm amazed it actually managed that. It's tricky. I mean, game design is tricky unless you are copy-pasting an existing game. And sadly, I am not. The garbage ship had absolutely no drag. So I'm actually doing a fairly original game concept, or at least a major twist on a number. So this is, say, one part Among Us, one part prop hunt, a little bit of unfortunate space bam, a little bit of X-wing, a little bit of Elite. The most fun I had in Elite was definitely, weirdly, pulling up, requesting docking permission, and then docking was great fun. I really liked it, which is odd because I wouldn't have thought that would have been fun. But like, it's actually quite cool to be serious within a spaceship game. And in VR, you can you're not worried about completing everything as quickly as possible, doing everything. You're just being there. You're just experiencing VR, which is kind of cool, because VR, you can do that. And I mean, in No Man's Sky, I spent so much time just going, look at this. Oh, that's cool. And just, as I said, sitting down on my rug in my room and just watching the sunrise on an alien planet, which I will never get to do within my lifetime, but I get to do at a reasonable resolution within No Man's Sky, and that's very, very cool. And there is a chance that if we continue to do this every week, we'll implement some, and I'll give me a short hit list of things, and I will implement it. And we can revisit once a week, and it may be that we actually just go, hey, we should actually just implement dropping off cargo. and it just turns out we've just written a social game. Does that sound like a plan? We'll do, for let's say for a month, we'll do Sneaky Spaceship Saturdays and actually try, and I'll try and fix the VR. I'll put down on the high priority, fix VR center. I don't know why. I am.
There's also a weird thing I was getting where the lateral motion in my headset wasn't translating one-to-one to the ship versus it did seem to be translating one-to-one to the, I say, universe.
Yeah.
But I'd move my head and left 5, say, but it would only actually move 1, or the ship would seem to move 4 at the same time frame.
I mean, you're pretty close. The correct number is 3. So I have scaled the VR camera up 3 times, which effectively makes the universe smaller 3 times. Because that's how you do it. But it's also supposed to multiply... Oh, maybe I need to click use relative transform. Unity has changed all of their stuff. Annoyingly.
Yeah, you see where the speaker symbols are? That's where my viewpoint was from in VR.
Yes, but you're supposed to be in that point plus your height. So that should be 0, 0, 0. But if you sit upright and then you reset, you should be that high above it. The VR cockpit camera is a meter above the 2D cockpit camera. And my arse is that a meter. I did actually, because Shauka mentioned this.
Felt like I was a meter below it.
There should be a...
I could not see above the cockpit dashboard. All I could see was just the dashboard.
Yes, I have actually added a ruler in. So there's a 1 meter ruler there. Because Shauka was saying things with the wrong size. But you're absolutely correct. I think I needed to tick... I've just pasted the help, by the way. Thanks, guys. I think I need to tick use relative transform. To make it work. I'm not sure. But I should have set both of those to a... Oh no, hold on, what is that? Oh no, that's...
Attitude thrusters have 3D sound for VR.
Yeah, I can do it, although that is incorrect. I'm disappointed at you, Shauka. I'm disappointed.
For what?
You want to hear the thrusters in 3D.
In
space. I know. It doesn't need to be.
They are connected. They are connected.
But vibrations are not directional, so no. Yeah, no, you're totally right. They should be. I don't think they have any sound at all right now. They do not. Cool. Well, I will. So yeah, think about it. I will be touching on this project during the week, and I'd say if we reconvene next Saturday to see how much I've actually achieved, and I will try and get more sporty handling as a toggle. I will try and get oh no, I've lost my Trello. I've totally lost it. What did I put down as my most important things? So VR centering. I also say fix VR scale. Implement sport mode and fix the power bars. So we'll have a better VR experience next week and more better handling. Right.
Too bad that the VR experience doesn't translate to pancake streaming.
I wish there was a way to stream cooler VR stuff.
I guess the first VR streaming service could actually be like a hit or have a splash that could be unexpected.
So in theory, I could encode and transmit a 360-degree visual in a way that YouTube understands. That is a thing, isn't it? You can stream 360-degree visuals. Now, I don't know if I can stream them on YouTube. I mean, Shaka, if you want to go away, link me, find me, Google it, find me a way to do it. If I can have a stream VR gameplay toggle in the game, I can just implement it, and that would be super, super cool. Anyway, let me stop there, and we'll be back in a minute, but just with a different stream title, and I will have a look and think. We might want to basically next week have a little bit more of a script, and just retouch on the important points in like 10 minutes, not 2 hours and 10 minutes. So thank you for watching. We'll be back in a minute, but pretending to play a computer game, but probably just chatting about this and